Hello and welcome back to Little Alchemist Helper. Mr. Andersam here, and today I'm going to be talking about what can be done to kind of make this game live on in its post-directly supported life. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we've kind of learned more and more what priority level this game has in the eyes of its new owners, and unfortunately it's not very high, and that's okay. I mean, this game doesn't have a huge following, it doesn't have huge ratings, if you want to say that. It's not up there on any of the search histories on Google or in either of the app or Google Play stores or on YouTube. It's not. It's a niche game with a niche audience, and that's okay. So I'm going to propose some ideas. I want to get kind of a dialogue going about what we can do to make this work for the player base and for the owners in a way that's mutually beneficial, because realistically, just kind of cutting off the support and leaving it dead in the water isn't that great. And then after that, I do have some more channel specific news, but we'll get into that later. So first things first, let's talk about what they've already done. They've announced that these new packs that are currently available for 72 gems, they're going to be reducing that price to 50 gems. And when I say new packs, they're all going to be re-releases. They're not, as far as I'm aware, the artist that was working with this game is no longer affiliated, and so there's no new art. No new art means no new cards. I haven't had a chance to look behind the scenes, as you can see on my phone. I do have the latest update. I have the Christmas update. You can see 12 days are coming starting on December 25th. So if you haven't updated your game, go do that, especially before December 25th, so you can get all the rewards. But I digress. So that's the first change. With the future packs coming out, they should go for 50 gems instead of 72, and I think that's a wonderful kind of nod to the player. Like, yeah, we're not making new stuff, so here's the old stuff. We're dropping the price. But what there is a little bit more that can be done to kind of stabilize this game, and I keep popping in and out. What most people don't realize is that when they look at these little graphics, and if you look really closely, you can see the background is moving. There's a lot of art and finesse and detail that go into these limited packs. And because of that, I think that there's a limited amount of them that can be preloaded into the game, which allows for some interesting dynamics when you're looking at it, behind the scenes. But what my question is, or what my suggestion, or what the conversation is I don't know if this is absolutely necessary anymore, and if you guys can modify it to where it doesn't require this special logos, or have the game build it out of just the card images rather than building these special packs. Just you could include a lot more of them and not have to continually update the game. It seems like a very large reward for a very limited loss to the player base. What I'm saying is, as a player here, I don't think I would mind. And if you guys desperately like these little icons that like, it is nice, I get that, but what I'm going for is long-term longevity. My ideal last update would have these packs on an infinite loop where this game can play on forever. And that's probably the biggest tweak that needs to happen to realistically see that. So everything else is much more trivial, much more minor. On the same note as the gems dropping, what I'd also like to see is the spawn rates for the goblins change. I think 1 out of every 100 days or so to get the rarest goblin, which only has, I can't remember, a 50-50 chance of actually giving you a gold. No, that's not true. That's not true. It's a 75% chance of giving you a combo card now. I think that's too inoften. I'd love to see that rate increased. Not necessarily every month, but I think that like 60 days, or if you want to go really technical and get it every 2 months, like a 62-day average would be completely fair, and it keeps us. It's those little hooks that keep us. I don't know why I clicked that. That was a mistake. But that's the next one, is the goblins. And this last one's kind of big, and I get that, but I think that it is totally worth it. It's a 3-step process, and it's gonna require basically the new owners to invest a decent amount of time into the final update. Step 1 is to go back to an always online server connected game. That's an unpopular opinion. They've tried it in the past before. They've gotten shouted at in the forums and complained to, until they turned that feature back off. But I think it prevents the majority of cheating. And when there's not a solid support team to get these players unshadow banned, or look into why these players were banned from the arena. I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna play while I talk. Why not? It without that team there, that ban is it's harsh. It's really harsh, and I think by going to an always online mode, it definitely helps mitigate that problem. It stops the, oh, my friend borrowed my phone and changed the time and I didn't. Okay, well, now that's not a valid excuse. It's either you were deliberately cheating or you wouldn't, and now I don't have any sympathy for you getting banned, because if you got caught cheating in an always online platform, there's nothing there. You were cheating. So that's step 1. Step 2 is, like many other of the Congregate published games, develop a web interface. If you go to there's a website for this game on Congregate, just like any of the other games hosted on Congregate. If you didn't know, Congregate actually is just a regular computer website, not a mobile one, that you can go play Flash and Unity games on, kind of like Newgrounds or various other. There are a ton of those gaming platform websites that exist. Congregate, in my opinion, does it best. The only thing I think Newgrounds has going for it that Congregate doesn't, which in my opinion is its only clear competitor, is the music, and that's not something that Congregate wanted, and I'm pretty sure is, for the most part, dead on Newgrounds anyway, but that's a side conversation. I'm easily distractible even when talking to myself. But go look at some of the other examples. The Animation Throwdown, the other Chinzilla-based game, you can play it on your computer, because it's an online-only game. Your server data syncs. You can turn it off your phone. You can go to the computer, and it's there. It also, allows you to transition from phone to phone with ease. It's all tied to your Congregate account. Everything's localized, and I think that's another big reduction in help desk tickets, which, let's face it, they need to go down based on the amount of team that you have supporting it. You need to have a lower volume. So having that platform online, one, it fixes those problems by default, just because of the technology that needs to be implemented in order for a feature like that to be enabled. But two, it can give this game a whole brand new player base. Congregate, one of the, not the coolest, I mean the coolest feature of Congregate is the games. One of the most unique features that Congregate has is a badge of the day where you can get pointed to new games just based on, they highlight one game every day that's been checked out by the Congregate staff. And I can't tell you the number of games that I've tried solely because it's the badge of the day. Well, you can't do that with a mobile game because it just doesn't work. It doesn't work to point somebody to go download an app to go get a badge of the day. Well, once you have it, the web interface up, you can make it the badge of the day, and you can get a ton of people to check out this game. And the nostalgia, the draws to the other games that do have similar elements that are incredibly fun, it works. This game just works for a lot of people who try it, and I would argue that we could have a whole like mini revitalization of this game just by making it the badge of the day and having 2 to 10,000 people come open it up, see what it's about. That's the last I checked on the number of people who follow that. Roughly is somewhere between 2 and 10,000 people. That'd be huge for this game. But I know that's not free. That's not easy. But I really would love to see something like that implemented, and knowing that it can be done because I see that Animation Throwdown has it, it just makes me want it so bad. And then the last thing is to bring back the live PvP. So way back for the guys that are new to this game, and by new I mean this is the only arena style that you've ever known, or the one before it is the only one that you've ever known. Before the arena style that existed, before this one existed, it was real live PvP. You actually played other opponents, and the feature still exists for iOS players, but if you could bring it into that online platform, you could have those games hosted on what I would assume to actually be Congregate servers rather than through the half-defunct Apple Play thing. The Game Center is what they call it. It's hard to even find on your iPhone anymore, and it's very obvious that Apple really just wished this thing would die and nobody used it anymore. But it still exists. It still works. I tested it the other day with someone on the Discord channel. They were as surprised as I did to see that it works. Tiebreaker will crash your game in that, so that will probably be a bug that you want to fix, or just disallow Tiebreaker from being used in that format. But that, if you could have like a page off of this arena page that you could go do live PvP and you could see who was online, and you didn't have to awkwardly try and add them to your friends group with an Apple feature that doesn't really exist anymore. It gives this game a huge sense of community that I think has been lacking since the extended alchemy powers that I covered in my last video came out. And I think that was the kind of big first the big first fall off for this game is when the new alchemy powers came out. It broke this feature, this online feature. These are the people that I added to my friends list, and we could play them, and like I think the only one that still plays on this whole list is this person. And if you've been around for a really long time, you'll know who that is. But he doesn't go by that name anymore. It would be huge. It would be epic. That word is thrown around way too much, but I can't tell you the amount of appreciation that having that online forum that's easy. It shows you who's online. You can play Android players, you can play iOS players. You don't even need a chat function, but a chat function would be nice, like, hey, looking for somebody with this level, or hey, want to test out my heroics deck, want to do a heroic v heroic deck matchup, that would be wonderful, but I don't know how that gets into the like ESRB-esque rating systems or the Apple rating systems. If you add that kind of element into this game with free chat, I know that causes potential problems. So I would understand if you couldn't add something like that, but please consider it. Please consider it. And that's really all I've got as far as ideas. If you guys have more ideas, please let me know in the comments. I kind of plan on doing a big write-up on the forums, but I want to get some more ideas from you. What this game needs to kind of live on into infinity, because there's no reason that it can't. This game stands alone as a solo game, good enough, but because it's a card game, it's perfectly capable of having that PvP element as well. So yeah, just let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment. What you guys think. If you think online only is a horrible idea, I think that technology has progressed far enough where that's not nearly as impactful as it used to be. But yeah, please, I'm really, really passionate about this. I want to try and push this and kind of have one final hoorah with the congregate, or with the Chinzilla guys, and get a good, solid, forever update to this game where they can, they'll always have tickets, but they don't have to worry about updating the game file. But I'd like to get some big stuff in there and see if that's even possible. So let's move on to the channel news. We're about to hit an important milestone on the channel, and I'm assuming most of you guys are thinking that I'm talking about 100 subscribers. I'm not. I'm talking about the milestone that we can hit when that will enable us to monetize the channel. This is the other thing that I just kind of wanted to have a discussion about. I'm going to go back to just kind of casually playing the game in the background, because that makes for more entertaining content. So, when we started, me and TapDog started this, I don't want to speak for him, but we didn't have making money. That wasn't on the list of priorities. We wanted to, most importantly, have fun. We wanted to learn a new skill and get some experience, and we wanted to promote the game. When we started, we didn't know that Chinzilla was in negotiations for incorporating themselves as an actual part of Congregate. If we would have known that, would have we not done it? I don't think it would have changed anything, but we didn't think this game was going to stop producing actual new content as soon as it did, or at least I didn't. But that doesn't mean that the game or the channel is dead. We are actively getting more and more views per day. We're getting more subscribers all of the time. We're getting more watch time and more search results and more hits every day. It's crazy. I would have thought that this would have kind of tanked off when Chin announced that the game is not going to be supported in so many words, and the forums were reacting with the game is dead, and there was some very high levels of concern on the Discord channel. I thought the channel was gonna just kind of peter out, or at least level off. I'm astounded. It's not even leveling off. We're still actively gaining a following. It's getting bigger, guys. It's not getting smaller, and I don't really want that to stop. And most people, when they see ads before a YouTube video, they assume that is the content creator wanting to get paid for creating the content. And while on a lot of main big channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, they do actually not have any other form of income than a Patreon page and, you know, getting paid for ads. I'm not interested in starting a Patreon. I'm not interested in the ad revenue from the following. What I am interested in is learning how the system works. Learning what impacts the ad system, because it's a very complicated system. You can go do a YouTube search of how it works, and it's not simple at all. But what it boils down to is YouTube and the creator both make money on a monetized video. And that should be fairly obvious. All of the money doesn't just go to the content creator, it goes to YouTube as well. And it should. I mean, we are using YouTube servers, we're using YouTube's platform. You know, YouTube is finding the advertisers. They are providing a huge service. It's not just the content creators are getting their money sapped away by YouTube. YouTube is providing a huge service by giving them both a platform and a revenue stream. They're the only site that I'm aware that does it. And I personally would like to incorporate YouTube like into making money for hosting our ideas, our platform, you know, and in turn YouTube will promote our videos. And they won't directly do it. It's not like we're going to be on the front page of everybody's stuff. You know, we're not getting contacted by Google, but they haven't outright admitted it, but it's one of those things where you can tell that the algorithm, that the video suggestion and the search features, I'm getting destroyed trying to get these cards, uses, it favors ads. And I just lost my video, so I'm going to have to finish this one audio only, unfortunately. It favors videos with ads because it makes more money. And so, you know, we want our content to be more widely available. We want, you know, the voices of the active little Alchemist content creators to show up first when you search for Little Alchemist on YouTube, to show people who are still interested in the game that we still exist. We want to keep that alive as best as we can, and we want a bigger following ourselves. I mean, is that a terrible thing? I don't know. But again, let me know if you think ads are going to be a huge detraction to our videos. You know, we'll listen to that opinion if that's a overwhelming majority. But let us know in the comments, you know, or let us know on Discord, or you know, you can PM me through the game. You know, just go find one of my forum posts. I have one pinned at the top. It's not hard. There's plenty of ways to get a hold of one of us and let us know. You don't even have to do it publicly. You can do it privately or anonymously if you so choose. But, you know, we want to know. So I know this is a long video. I can tell because I ran out of recording on my secondary device. So thank you for sticking with me through the end of my ramblings. And please do, I'm really looking for engagement on this one. But that's all I have. Thanks. Bye.